Good morning, welcome back to the book of Joshua. We continue reading today. But before we begin our morning prayer, Father, as I read and receive your word, may it deeply be rooted in me, so when difficulty comes, it will be your word that encourages and strengthens me. Amen. We're going to start with chapter 14 today. The land divided west of the Jordan. The remaining tribes of Israel inherited land in Canaan as allotted by Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the tribal leaders. These 9.5 tribes received their inheritance by means of sacred lots, in accordance with the Lord's command through Moses. Moses had already given an inheritance of land to the 2.5 tribes on the east side of the Jordan River. The tribe of Joseph had become 2 separate tribes, Manasseh, Ephraim. And the Levites were given no land at all, only towns to live in and the surrounding pasture land for their flocks and herds. So the distribution of the land was in strict accordance with the Lord's instructions to Moses. Caleb requests his land. A delegation from the tribe of Judah, led by Caleb, son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, came to Joshua at Gilgal. Caleb said to Joshua, "Remember what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, about you and me when we were at Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to explore the land of Canaan. I returned and gave him from my heart a good report. But my brothers who went with me frightened the people and discouraged them from entering the promised land. For my part, I followed the Lord my God completely. So that day Moses promised me, the land of Canaan on which you were just walking will be your special possession, and that your descendants forever, because you wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. Now, as you can see, the Lord has kept me alive and well as he promised for all these 45 years since Moses made this promise. Even while Israel wandered in the wilderness. Today I am 85 years old. I am as strong now as I was when Moses sent me on that journey, and I can still travel and fight as well as I could then. So I'm asking you to give me the hill country that the Lord promised me. You'll remember that as scouts we found the Anakites living there in great walled cities. But if the Lord is with me, I will drive them out of the land, just as the Lord said." So Joshua blessed Caleb son of Jephunneh and gave Hebron to him, and as an inheritance, Hebron still belongs to the descendants of Caleb's son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, because he wholeheartedly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Previously, Hebron had been called Kiriath Arba. It had been named after Arba, a great hero of the Anakites, and the land had rest from war. Chapter 15. The land given to the tribe of Judah. The land assigned to the families of the tribe of Judah reached southward to the border of Edom, with the wilderness of Zin being its southernmost point. The southern boundary began at the south bay of the Dead Sea, ran south of Scorpion Pass into the wilderness of Zin, and went south of Kadesh Barnea to Hezron. Then it went up to Adar, where it turned toward Karka. From there it passed to Asmon, until it finally reached the brook of Egypt, which it followed to the Mediterranean Sea. This was their southern boundary. The eastern boundary extended along the Dead Sea to the mouth of the Jordan River. The northern boundary began at the bay, where the Jordan River empties into the Dead Sea, crossed to Beth Hogla, then proceeded north of Beth Araba to the stone of Bohan. Bohan was Reuben's son. From that point it went through the valley of Achor to Debir, turning north toward Gilgal, which is across from the slopes of Adumim on the south side of the valley. From there the border extended to the springs at En Shemesh and on to En Rogel. The boundary then passed through the valley of the son of Hinnom along the southern slopes of the Jebusites, where the city of Jerusalem is located. Then it went west to the top of the mountain above the valley of Hinnom, and up to the northern end of the valley of Rephaim. From there the border extended from the top of the mountain to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah, and from there to the towns of Mount Ephron. Then it turned toward Bala, that is Kirath Jearim. The border circled west of Bala to Mount Seir, passed along to the town of Keshalon on the northern slope of Mount Jearim, and went down to Beth Shemesh and on to Timnah. The boundary line then proceeded to the slope of the hill north of Ekron, where it turned toward Shikkeron and Mount Bala. It passed Jebneel and entered the Mediterranean Sea. The western boundary was the shoreline of the Mediterranean Sea. These are the boundaries of the families of the tribe of Judah. The land given to Caleb. The Lord instructed Joshua to assign some of Judah's territory to Caleb, son of Jephunneh. So Caleb was given the city of Arba, that is Hebron, which had been named after Anak's ancestors. Caleb drove out the 3 Anakites, Shishani, Ahiman, and Talmai, descendants of Anak. Then he fought against the people living in the town of Debir, formerly called Kiriath Sepher. Caleb said, I will give my daughter Asha in marriage to the one who attacks and captures Kiriath Sepher. Othniel, the son of Caleb's brother, Kenaz, was the one who conquered it. So Akshah became Othniel's wife. When Akshah married Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for an additional field. As she got down off her donkey, Caleb asked her, What is it? What can I do for you? She said, Give me further blessings. You have been kind to me to give me land in Negev. Please give me the springs as well. So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. The towns Judah inherited. This was the inheritance given to the families of the tribe of Judah. The towns of Judah, situated along the borders of Edom and the extreme south of Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kena, Dimnah, Adadah, Kadesh, Hazor, Ithnan, Zeph, Talim, Beoth, Hazar Hadath, Keroth Hezron, that is Hazor, Amen, Shema, Moladah, Hazar Gadath, Heshmon, Beth Palet, Hazar Shua, Beersheba, Bizoth, Bala, Ayam, Ezem, Ethelad, Kizel, Hormah, Ziklag, Madmannah, Shenshana, Leboth, Shalom, Ain, Rimmon. In all, there were 29 of these towns with their surrounding villages. The following towns situated in the western foothills were also given to Judah: Ashtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, and Ganim, Tapua, Enam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Saka, Azekah, Sharim, Adatham, Jederah, and Gederathom. In all, there were 14 towns with their surrounding villages. Also included were Zenon, Hadashah, Migdal Gad, Dilian, Mizpah, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozkath, Eglon, Cabin, Lama, Kitlish, Gederoth, Beth Dagon, Nama, and Makkedah. 16 towns with their surrounding villages. Besides these, there were Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Iphthah, Ashana, Nezeb, Keilah, Akzib, Mareshah, 9 towns with their surrounding villages. The territory of the tribe of Judah also included all the towns and villages of Ekron. From Ekron, the boundary extended west and included the towns near Ashdod with their surrounding villages. It also included Ashdod with its town and villages, and Gaza with its town and villages, as far as the brook of Egypt and along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. Judah also received the following towns in the hill country: Shamir, Jatir, Dana, Kerith, Sana, that is Debir, Anab, Eshtemoa, Toma, Anam, Goshen, Holon, Gilah, 11 towns with their surrounding villages. Also included were the towns of Arab, Duma, Ashan, Janam, Beth Tapua, Aphekah, Humtah, Kirith Arba, that is Hebron, and Zior, 9 towns with their surrounding villages. Besides these, there were Maon, Carmel, Ziph, Judah, Zerah, Zoktim, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, Timnah, 10 towns with their surrounding villages. In addition, there were Halhal, Bethzer, Gedor, Marath, Beth-Anoth, and Eltekon, 6 towns with their surrounding villages. There were also Kirah Baal, that is Kirith Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 towns with their surrounding villages. In the wilderness, there were towns of Beth Arabah, Midden, Sekak, Nebshan, and the city of Salt, and En-Gedi, 6 towns with their surrounding villages. But the tribe of Judah could not drive out the Jebusites who lived in the city of Jerusalem. So the Jebusites live there among the people of Judah to this day. Thank you for joining me. We'll start with chapter 16 tomorrow. Thank you.